Hello, you beautiful nerds. Welcome to the Drunk Banthas podcast, where we talk about sci-fi, fantasy, horror, and all the popular art that we love. Also, we do it drunk. I'm joined, as always, by my brother, Bill. How you doing?
Yo, 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 yo.
I am Alex, also known as Jedi Master Grayson, and today we are talking about Season 4, Episode 4 of the HBO original series, Westworld, Generation Lost.
It's a Westworld. It's a Westworld. It's a Westworld. It's a Westworld. Shout out to heavy spoilers.
What did you think of this one? Like, what were your initial thoughts on this episode, like, compared to, the first three? Because we're getting really into the nitty-gritty now.
My first thought was, emergency awesome, doesn't know nothing. We know everything. Yeah. It's better to be late and right than early and wrong, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
I mean, well, that's...
No, I'm not hating on emergency awesome. I love art. Hey,
right.
Love you, Charlie. I just know that those guys, I've been watching all those guys for years, maybe a better part of 6 years. Mm-hmm. And I feel like they've gotten to the point where they feel like they have to respond in the moment.
Right.
And then they miss so much. Mm-hmm. And then they have theories that are inaccurate.
Right.
And, that's why I just feel like it's better to take a little bit more time, watch it like 2, 3, 4 more times before all the theories get out. Like,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, then I go and I watch the theories, and then I get a little bit more grasp on what I've watched, what they've watched, and what I can infer is going on later. So I gotta say, what I get out of this episode 4 is best episode so far.
Yeah, I really liked it. Definitely best episode so far this season, in my opinion. With mystery box shows, it is like kind of the nature of like the human mind. Like, we're gonna try to figure out where the story's going and like try to figure out the complexities of it. And you're not always gonna be right, because we're not Jonathan Nolan. We're not exactly sure where everything's going, but and just the nature of YouTube, and you're gonna put your opinions out there. But I'm sure everybody's got like an opinion on or an idea of where the show might be going, and they're fucking totally wrong, because only Jonathan and Lisa Joy really know what the fuck is happening.
And which is exactly how it should have been. I mean, which is why we take our time.
Indeed.
Which is why we take our time, because we know to talk about this in a hasty manner is a frivolous act.
Indeed.
It's just like running outside of a clinic that you just found out you were created in and running into a crowd of people who also are being controlled just as the same as you.
Right. At first I was like, why don't you just let them run out like this? Well, I was like, oh, well, I mean, there's nothing he can do.
I mean, where is he going to go? He going to go to China?
Like, this is probably actually the most fun she's had in weeks. Probably like having to run out. I was like, oh man, I get to do my like fucking freeze everybody trick. I hadn't really been able to do this and like shock somebody in a long time.
Well, like, 247 versions or 247 versions of him. She probably got to do that before, but she's like, this is the first run that ran out the dodo. This is good.
He's like, yeah, I just do this like every 2 months.
Some of them jump out the window.
It's like, hey, let's wake up Caleb again.
Last Caleb jumped out the window. You gonna keep just waking him up? Look, I wake up who I want to wake up. I'll make you ass never wake up. You keep talking, goddammit. You see I control shit. Every goddamn thing out here. I make your ass just stop talking.
But let's speaking of which, let's just dive into the episode. Let's talk about what we're talking about. So at the beginning of this episode, Christina's roommates, at the beginning of the episode, we get like a flashback.
That's right.
We
get that flashback that everybody's been waiting for.
Yeah, everybody's been trying to see exactly what happened between Caleb and Maeve when they destroyed the
thing,
rudimentary thing, the Rudenate. Yeah, I forget what the name of that thing is.
I'll be saying it all the time. You'll never remember.
I mean, shit.
You remember these niggas' names in real life. I say Rehoboam. Like,
yeah, I remember real things. It's hard to remember fake things.
What is that? What is a
Jonathan Nolan? That's easier to remember than Robo.
I remember Jonathan Nolan. I just don't remember any of these actors that have been in one movie and 2 commercials. I don't remember their names. That's what I'm talking about. You be remembering niggas' names and don't nobody know.
Again, it's just easier. I guess it's
just
easier.
People's names that I only met at Eagle Rock. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you.
Yeah, again, it's just easier for me to remember real names than fake names sometimes.
I mean,
I don't know.
We've been talking about this show for a minute. It's
But they destroy the thing, and Caleb gets shot, and we get to see that. I guess is that where the flashback is? We kind of go back and forth into that.
He gets shot. Episode. Nah, he gets shot, and then he's like getting patched up, and that's where the flashback ends at that moment.
Okay, yeah.
And then we go to Christina. And we're in. We go and we're in. Caleb is. We realize that Caleb is with Hail Dolores.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Dolores, as she's known on the internet, and she is telling him like, "No, I ain't kill your family, nigga. And this is what I'm gonna do to everybody. What I'm doing to you right now, torturing you. I'm torturing you. You see how you got them flies in your head? They melting and then they creating parasites inside your brain. And so,
yeah.
But then we get back to Edward Norton. No, not Edward Norton. Ed Harris.
Right. Yeah.
Ed Harris looks like an old Edward Norton. I was just thinking about it the other day.
Yes,
he does. He look like old Edward Norton. That's
white and got blue eyes.
That's what he gonna look like one day. That's what he gonna look like. Anyway,
actually, I can't even remember what Ed Harris looked like before, like he was 50 years old.
See,
that proves nothing.
Anyway,
but yeah, Ed Harris and Maeve are fighting it out. Yeah,
Ed Harris, Maeve fighting. We're fighting. Wake up. We're fighting. And they, he says to her, bitch, I'm gonna fuck you up. And that's not what she said.
I'm gonna get you, bitch.
He said, swear to God, that's one of me and Alex's favorite videos of all time. Go look it up. All you have to do is type in, I'm gonna get you, bitch, on YouTube. And you will see the most hilarious thing you've ever seen in life.
Yeah, that video is amazing.
Somebody bring cops back, goddammit. But anyway. Yeah, so then that's when that's when Maeve decides she's gonna hack the people Holcomb. I don't know what it is. The host Holcomb. I don't know what to call it, but it's a similar version of Holcomb, but it's sending the fly horn. I like it.
Yeah.
So he's sending out the fly horn. The fly horn. And the fly horn is sending out messages. So Babe says, fuck that. I'm going to turn it around. I'm going to send out messages of my own.
Right.
And she made it to where she couldn't hear it and where humans weren't affected, which is when I realized in that moment, which it doesn't matter that I realized it in that moment because it's already passed. It's 24 hours since we watched it. But I realized that Maeve was the weapon. Spoilers.
It's funny. Well, I mean, it's weird because like one of the things we were talking about, I think in the last episode was like how much, like it was like we feel like this horn is the key. Maybe y'all should focus on trying to like affect this. I was more thinking like, yeah, maybe because I grew up with Saturday morning cartoons. I was thinking she was just gonna like grab a chair and throw it at it and try to destroy it or something like that.
Yeah,
but
it's bounce off of it. Like that would have been what would have naturally happened. She'd throw it at it and then it just bounced back.
Well, it's like that's what happened in all those cartoons. Like, you just throw something at something and then it just explodes inexplicably.
Like X-Men cartoons, Wolverine would pick something up and throw it at. Like, nigga, you have adamantium claws.
He's like, yeah, but we can't show children. We can't show children like having Wolverine stab somebody, so we got to have them blow it up instead.
Right.
Cartoons were weird when we were growing up. But I did like
are weirder today.
Yeah, fair enough. But I did like how they made it to where she was using her robot Jedi Force powers to affect it. And speaking of robot Jedi Force powers,
like, these are not the humans you're looking for.
Right. Then like later, when Maeve. Actually, no, I think this isn't until they get into the car because, like, Maeve and Caleb they get Tessa Thompson and they take her hostage.
Hail Loris.
Hail Loris. It seems like I'm just trying to salute somebody named Loris when I use that name. Hail Loris. But they get her out of the into the park where like we get a couple of controlled humans fighting some of the hosts, like who were caught in their narrative. It's an interesting little scene, but they get a little bit of conflict before Maeve and Caleb kind of get out of and knocked out Hail Loris in the trunk. What did you think of like them like having this moment to reconnect and then kind of having like parallel to the last time he got shot in the gut or injured in the gut? Because I forgot to mention he got stabbed by one of the humans who were being controlled by the Flyhorn.
And why did it have the human stab him and not shoot him, even though he had a gun in his hand, Alex? Why?
because knives work better than guns in this Westworld world. Well, Midwest world.
Well, they definitely work better because he can't kill a human being with his gun.
Exactly.
In the pack.
Yeah, you can just hurt like people like moderately.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
He's like, and this is one of the situations where you should bring a knife to a gunfight.
Oh, yes. Actually, always bring a knife to a gunfight. Just make sure you brought a gun.
Yes. Bring the knife as backup.
Make sure you also have a gun. Because if you don't, you're going to lose.
Well, yeah, I like this little parallel of, Maeve recounting, their situation with, or her situation with Caleb. Mm-hmm. He leaves her. Well, no, she leaves him at the hospital. He gets nursed back to health by Uwade, his wife, who we don't know what her accent is.
It is definitely West Indian, British, Colombian, South African, Asian.
Absolutely, yeah. It's one of those, or all those.
All of those.
But
no, that was just one. That was just one, Alex. Don't be
that's
disrespectful.
One place.
Don't be disrespectful, Alex. You're so disrespectful to accents.
It's right near the beach.
I hope that girl is from Compton,
right?
Because I want so bad that to just be something that she decided, and then everybody was like, okay,
right. It's like, oh no, she's from Clearwater, Florida. Like, I don't know.
No, okay, I'm fucking with it. I'm fucking with it because she sound good. She sound good. I want somebody that was what they were saying. I want that to be what the case was. This is such an amazing show. It has to have some flaws in it somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I mean, no show is perfect.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm hoping it's that deeply flawed. Like somebody really liked what she was doing.
Right. It's like, oh yeah.
I'll fuck with that.
And it shows like the connection between Maeve and Caleb. That she does like really have strong feelings for him, whether that be platonic or not. Like the whole thing that kind of the inciting incident of this season with them that got Will on their track, or Hale Lawrence.
Lawrence. Hale Lawrence. Who the fuck is Lawrence?
Hale Lawrence.
Fishburne?
Yeah.
I like how you was like, yeah,
absolutely. He's like, I can always get down with Hale Lawrence.
I'm just saying, like, you was like, yeah.
That was just like this is my natural reaction.
Matter of fact,
actually, you know what?
Yeah.
No, but now, yes.
Fuck yeah, shit yeah.
But yeah, it shows like their kind of connection between each other, and because the whole thing the way this whole season started is that she was trying to connect to Caleb or find Caleb, and that's what caused the Jedi robot blackout thing.
She missed her some Caleb.
And the next scene,
what she missed was people. I mean, that's basically what she says. She says she grew to find sadness in mortality of human beings, something she had not yet gotten a chance to experience, because really, honestly, Maeve hasn't killed any human beings, really.
Right, yeah. And
she's killed a whole bunch of hosts.
Right.
She hasn't actually had, what? No, what's his name? Sirach. She killed him, right?
Who's Sirach?
The dude who had Rehoboam. The French dude.
Oh, yeah. I think that she did kill him.
She killed him, but other than that, she hasn't really experienced the quote-unquote mortality of human beings. Like, I have a friend that one day will not exist here anymore.
Right.
We all go through that as human beings, and she had not yet experienced that emotion.
Right.
And it gave us her outlook on it, and it made her feel something so strong, she ran in the opposite direction. Which we all know, if you felt it, that's love.
Yeah. And absolutely.
Hey, if it feels so strong, you got to run the other way. You're
in
love, baby.
Yeah, it's funny that and
hold on, let me get my drink. I just did my Frank Sinatra impersonation. You know I gotta have my drink, baby.
And it's funny that I guess what happens in this third act, you kind of negates her having to feel that ever again, really, with Caleb. But before we actually get into that, let's talk a little bit more about love in a different way. We go back to Christina's roommate.
Let's talk about love.
Christina's roommate Maya sets her up on a date with Teddy. It's so funny because James Marsden.
Well, before we do that,
what?
Christina wakes up first.
Right. Yeah, you had mentioned the significance of this.
Yeah, so Christina wakes up, Christina Dolores, and she says, Chris Dolores? See, ain't nobody did nothing for her on the internet. We the only ones came up with a good one for her, Christina Dolores. Hashtag Christina Dolores.
Hashtag Christina Dolores.
Hashtag Drunk Banthas. Put us up on Twitter, baby. Let's get it going. Anyway, Christina Dolores wakes up not on time. She actually doesn't wake up. Her friend has to wake her up. She's like, I'm awake now. Jostled awake. Sleeping too long. This is not a part of the programming that Hale Dolores has fucking created. Dolores. So
this is not what Hale Lawrence had in mind.
Meaning that she is breaking free from the controlling, from the programming. And then her friend realizes that she's been up all night. Her roommate. She realizes she's been up all night painting. What have you been painting? She's like, I don't know. What are you talking about? I've been up so long. I don't know. I couldn't sleep. And so then Evan Rachel Hood, because she hood.
Right.
Anyway.
I guess she, is she?
Look,
that's not
y'all don't know Evan. Y'all don't know Rachel like I know Rachel. See, you know what I'm saying?
She does. Well, actually, I don't know. I shouldn't say that on the pod, actually. Never mind.
Yeah, don't say what you was about to say. I
think you know what I was about to say.
I don't know what you was about to say,
okay,
but you don't need to say what you was about to say. Because if you said you don't need to say what you was about to say, then I know you shouldn't say what you was about to say. Because I would say what you was about to say. So anyway, it's bad for your brand. Don't say it. I'd leave that to me. So anyway, yeah, she wakes up and her roommate starts talking about her dream that she had, because apparently she had trouble sleeping as well. That should be a huge connection, knowing that everybody in this city is of a hive mind. She talks about how her parents got consumed by the flies. She gives a distinct description of the taking over of the world by Heloris.
Right. Yeah, and it makes you it's assumed that this is either a repressed memory or some sort of nightmare manifestation of like some sort of generational PTSD of like something that happened to her parents that she didn't something similar happened to her parents, or just like society, and it's just like sort of ingrained in her psyche.
Yes, nigga, this is it. It's all of those ingrained in her psyche, forced repressed memories, and goddamn shit is fucking up. Now I have a theory.
What's that?
I have a theory that there are too many people on the system. Like the grid is getting overwhelmed, and that's why people are starting to come a little loose.
Okay.
Get up off, like, man, what's going on? Why is it so weird? Why am I so controlled? And like Cole was one of those, not Cole, Caleb, regular white people name. Insert white man name here. Anyway. Caleb ended up breaking free from his loop in season 3 that was created for him by Holcomb. I think Christina Dolores is breaking free from her loop. And that's why Jay is in an argument with C in the desert trying to kill Bernard and baby Hainsworth, because he's like, yo, we got to go get this divergent. What do they call him? I can't remember.
I can't remember exactly what they call them.
But y'all put it in the comments. What did they call him in the season 3? We just be smoking too much weed. There.
Yeah, I'm like, now I got Loki in my brain. I want to call him a divergent, but I don't think that's it.
I think it started with a D, man. Shit. This is why we need to start doing this.
Maybe it is divergent, and Loki is just making me think it is something
we need to have like a live stream. We need to start doing this live so that we could have people tell us what we saying wrong.
I would really. Yeah, that's
because that would be like a lot quicker than just sitting here going, "What was it again?"
Yeah, for sure.
That's the only reason, like it definitely would be faster than like us sitting here trying to figure it out. But anyway, so yes, that's when we realized that people are not with the shits necessarily. People aren't all just automatically being consumed by the parasite that Halores has out there, and that certain people have maybe an immunity,
Right.
which is what Hale explains later on at the end of the episode. So it looks like people who are on the outskirts not only have an immunity, but maybe that homeless man, for instance, is like one of those types of people as well, and he's never able to actually connect with anyone else in society because everyone else in society is connected to themselves.
Right. Yeah, it's it's a real mind blow. Like, I really like all the things they're doing with the technology implications. Because like, there's always like some people feel like they're. I've heard some people say like they wish they were going back in the park, and they dipped their toe in the park a little bit this season. But I like how like the season or the show has expanded.
And we don't know that we're not in the park yet, because what's up with those guys talking about this is their first time? I can't believe this is your first time. Like,
right?
We still don't know what's going on really
there,
with that. So we don't know really what's going on. Maybe there is a part of the park that, like, maybe there's a part of the city where the hosts get to live their own lives,
right?
Kind of like the Sublime, but in real life,
right? Well, actually, speaking on that, let's get into that Christina's date with Maya. Christina's date with Teddy that Maya sets her up with.
That actually might have been more interesting.
I really like this scene because it was funny. Like, even my mom recognizes that James Marsden. She probably doesn't even know James Marsden's name, but she knows him as the not get the girl guy in movies like Disenchanted, Notebook, Superman Returns, even in X-Men. Like, fucking X-Men is a love story between Logan and Jean more than it is between Jean and Scott.
Well, I mean, he just loses her. He doesn't get to get the girl. He loses her. He always loses or doesn't get the girl in some kind of way.
Yeah. And it's interesting that, this is sort of, it was cute seeing this scene between them because it feels like one of the less constructed conversations that they've had in their very long and crazy.
Although it's completely constructed, like, because Hale's running everything. Like, as much as it seems unconstructed, it is completely constructed, all the way down to the lipstick rolling into Teddy's hand and him saying, "Don't mind me, just trying to look chivalrous."
Right. So chivalrous. What do you think?
Chivalrous is
chivalrous. Why do you think that he do you think was going on with him, like standing outside of her door? And,
I think Halores is trying to give Halores. I think Teddy's going to end up kind of being a little bit more evil than he's coming off. I think Halores has him in place to watch Christina Dolores, and because she's starting to divert from her narrative, she's bringing in the big guns to try to keep her in line.
Right.
Keep her distracted. Because that's what we do, and that's what's done to us in society. It's Jonathan Nolan's play on what's taking place in actual real life. Once you start realizing things and start waking up like we did during the pandemic, when everyone had to stay at home and didn't have to be consumed by distractions of life. Once you get rid of those distractions, you start realizing how much bullshit is around you. And once you do that, you start thinking. And once you start thinking, you start having your own free will, which is exactly what Halores is trying to prevent.
Right. Yeah. And later, excuse me, we see Mark and Caleb. Maeve and Caleb take shelter in a nearby expansion area of the park where Caleb calls for help. We already know that Caleb's people are not his people. Dude from Good Girls has been replaced by a host, so we can only assume that the rest of his team is as well compromised.
That's a pretty good assumption. None of them were there when he was there to pick them up, and they were all there before when Caleb left. So
right, chances are
very good assumption. And also, she's taking over the world, so therefore, you should probably assume that she's taken some
Right.
of your friends.
Right.
I mean, that would probably be a good place for her to start.
Yeah. In the words of Joker, are you sure your people are still your people? So when Caleb awakens, oh wait, no, actually, Ed Harris and Maeve, they get into a big fight.
Big old fight.
Out in the park.
Ed Harris,
wow.
it's a rock quarry, but okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, like,
You mean,
the
there was a park that's being expanded upon. A part of the park that's being expanded upon.
Right.
They wanted to crack the rocks up. And guess what happens there?
Yeah,
get
the quarry.
stabbed with the big buck knife in the stomach there. But not before she holds on tight, and they go blowing up each other, up, and away. Yeah.
Yeah, she.
Sorry, that's my young Carl.
Yeah, she ends up sacrificing herself, blowing up herself and Ed Harris.
The Man in Black.
While
I refuse to call him the acronym that's on the internet. That's just ridiculous. You can't say Man in Black.
the MIB. What is that? What the people are saying?
Come on, bro. The MIB is a goddamn organization that defends the Earth from alien threats and other celestial events. Clearly.
Yeah, clearly two different entities.
Yeah, man. Let's not be disrespectful.
But then we Caleb discovers that he's actually in New York City. He awakens and Charlotte reveals that he's a host who has been reliving the moments leading up to his death 23 years prior. So he discovers he's actually in New York, whose entire population has since fallen under Charlotte's control, or Hale Lawrence, whichever one you want to call.
And also, it's Hale Lawrence.
Yeah, that's what I said, Hale Lawrence.
So, also, I like how the big reveal. Shout out to all of the dudes out there who thought that the building they were in was the tower. You're an idiot.
That's stupid.
Why would you think that they would have a big ass budget like they got, and they're not gonna put that big ass tower that you saw? You saw a video of it. You saw pictures of it. You saw people looking at it, and you think that they wasn't gonna have it somewhere big. I mean, because that was a dope ass shot. It was probably the shot of the year. You know what I'm saying? Like, name me a shot in television that is as cool as that shot was.
Give me some time.
I'm talking to them, man. Put it in the comments.
Put it in the comments, guys.
God damn, we do enough work. Y'all go find me one. I found this shot. You found one, and then you talk about it. We'll talk about it, and I'll debate you.
Yeah, it was an interesting little turn discovery that I'm sure a lot of people had already pontificated and sort of deduced. But then we go back to the Jeffrey Wright storyline, or the Jeffrey Wright storyline. I think that's apt to say. And we see that the weapon that they've been searching for, or that the Resistance or whatever has been searching for, is Maeve. And we also get a verbal confirmation that the woman is Frankie, Caleb's daughter, all grown up.
We get it through a scene cut from Caleb to Frankie, and then we get a confirmation for people who aren't able to keep up with Jeffrey Wright saying your father is not here, but he doesn't tell her that her father is dead.
Right. Yeah. Obviously,
he says your father is not here.
Right.
And he doesn't say that your father is still alive. Ooh.
Right.
Because he know the drama that's about to come up. This nigga got all the tea. He ain't telling nobody. I'm so mad.
Yeah, I think it might even be one of those situations like, with time travel rules. Like, if I tell you too much, it might alter the course of whatever.
Well, he's probably tried that.
Right.
Probably the first thing he did. Look, this is what's going to happen. Everything fucks up. Oh, well, shit.
Maybe I can do that.
It's Groundhog Day all over again.
But yeah, I'm excited to see what happens with the rest of the season. I think if it's on the same trajectory as the previous seasons, we probably got 6 episodes left. And yeah, like, I'm gonna try not to try to predict too much, or try to theorize too much. Obviously, that's gonna happen in my brain anyway. But whatever. I'm just gonna sit back and try to enjoy the story as it unfolds. You got
This show is. You just sit back and watch. If you're fucking trying to think about it and trying to figure it out, guess what? You're going to be wrong. And then you're going to be like, I don't understand what's going on. It's because you were thinking the whole time, stupid.
Yeah, don't think, stupid.
Just sit there and watch the show and enjoy it.
But thank you guys for listening to the Drunk Banthas podcast. We do this every once in a while, so go ahead and leave a like and subscribe so you can get updates on new videos. Check us out on Twitter, IG, TikTok, likewise, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all the internet things at the Drunk Banthas. Until next time, stay safe, my little fly horns, and may the force be with you.